This week marks the anniversaries of the births and deaths of several people who weren't just celebrities but true icons who shaped the popular culture of the 20th century. In this video, we pay tribute to their lives and memories. I'm Linnea Crowther with Legacy.com, the website where you can find any obituary or publish one for someone you care about. Actress Elizabeth Taylor, born this week in 1932, was one of the biggest superstars of Hollywood's golden age. The American Film Institute named her the 7th greatest female screen legend of her time. Taylor first became famous as a teen star, but by the 1950s and 60s, she had become one of the most highly sought-after actors of her generation. We remember Taylor for her distinctive violet blue eyes and for roles in films such as Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, and Cleopatra. She died in 2011 of congestive heart failure after nearly 2 decades of chronic health issues. Actor and comedian Jackie Gleason was born this week in 1916. He died in 1987 of colon cancer at the age of 71. Gleason is remembered as Ralph Cramden of the groundbreaking TV sitcom The Honeymooners. He also had notable roles in 1961's The Hustler alongside Paul Newman and opposite Burt Reynolds in the Smokey and the Bandit series. Gleason also had a successful music career. His first 10 albums sold 1 million copies each. His debut, Music for Lovers Only, spent 153 weeks in the Billboard Top 10, a record still held to this day. Fred Rogers, or simply Mr. Rogers as he was known to children around the world, died this week in 2003 of stomach cancer at the age of 74. We remember him for Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, the pioneering children's television show that ran for 33 years and touched the lives of countless viewers. The show was distinguished by his gentle tone and comforting demeanor, making him one of the most beloved figures in television. Among his dozens of awards and honorary degrees, Rogers received the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2002 and a Lifetime Achievement Emmy in 1997. Rock and roll pioneer Fats Domino was born 95 years ago this week in 1928. He died in 2017 of natural causes at the age of 89. The music he brought to life on his piano, including songs like Ain't That a Shame, Blueberry Hill, and Walking to New Orleans, helped shape the entire field of rock and roll. He was one of the very first musicians honored when the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame originally opened. Actor and director Leonard Nimoy died this week in 2015. He was 83. Nimoy is best remembered for his role as the pointy-eared Mr. Spock in the Star Trek television and film series. After early roles in shows like Wagon Train and The Twilight Zone, he finally found his signature role in 1966 when he was cast as Spock. The half-human, half-alien character quickly became an inspirational figure for fans who appreciated his calm, logical way of moving through the universe. Nimoy also became a popular film director. He directed the most successful film of the Star Trek franchise, The Voyage Home, and also the single highest-grossing Hollywood film of 1987, 3 Men and a Baby. Nimoy is also remembered for his eclectic music and photography projects and for hosting a variety of educational programs. Known to the world as Dr. Seuss, Theodore Seuss Geisel was born this week in 1904. He died in 1991 of cancer at the age of 87. We remember Seuss for his series of classic children's books. They include The Cat in the Hat, Horton Hears a Who, The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, Green Eggs and Ham, and Oh, the Places You'll Go. Seuss began his career as a political cartoonist and advertising illustrator. During World War II, he worked with the animation department of the United States Army. Seuss's work is known for his colorful characters, clever wordplay, and stories that have been adapted for television, Broadway, and film. We remember him introducing millions to the joy of reading. Country singer and songwriter Johnny Cash would have turned 91 this week. Known as the Man in Black, we remember Cash for his distinctive deep voice and rebellious spirit. Songs like Folsom Prison Blues, Ring of Fire, I Walk the Line, and A Boy Named Sue have become modern standards. In the year prior to his death, he won a new generation of fans with his melancholy cover of the Nine Inch Nails song Hurt. In addition to these timeless icons of 20th century pop culture, this week also marks several other notable anniversaries. Here's who else was born or died this week in history. Actor and comedian Lou Costello died of a heart attack this week in 1959. He was 52. We honor him for his iconic partnership with fellow comedian Bud Abbott. The pair's fast-paced dialogue is best remembered in their classic skit, Who's on First? Actor Tony Randall was born this week in 1920. He died of pneumonia in 2004. Randall is fondly remembered for his role as Felix Unger in the television adaptation of The Odd Couple, a role that earned him an Emmy. Broadcaster Paul Harvey died this week in 2009. He was 90. We remember Harvey for his long-running radio series, which famously ended each episode with the line, "And now you know the rest of the story." Actor and bandleader Desi Arnaz was born this week in 1917. He died of lung cancer at 69. We honor Arnaz for his role as Ricky Ricardo in the sitcom I Love Lucy, where he starred opposite his then-wife, Lucille Ball. Actor James Doohan was born this week in 1920. He passed away 18 years ago at 85. We remember Doohan as Scotty, chief engineer of the Starship Enterprise in the original Star Trek TV and film series. Science fiction author Philip K. Dick died this week in 1982 after suffering from a stroke. He was 53. Dick is remembered for mind-bending stories that have been adapted into classic films such as Blade Runner, Minority Report, and Total Recall. Singer and songwriter Lou Reed would have turned 81 this week. He was a founding member of the Velvet Underground and a key player in New York's counterculture art scene of the 60s and 70s. We remember Reed for his distinctive vocal style and poetic lyrics about unusual street characters. Every Friday, our channel publishes a news video paying tribute to the most recent celebrities and other public figures whose deaths have made headlines. You can read more about the lives of the people featured in this video on Legacy.com. At Legacy.com, any family can publish an obituary in honor of a loved one's memory, online and in local newspapers everywhere. Just visit Legacy.com and select your local community. You can also follow Legacy.com on Facebook and subscribe to our channel on YouTube to stay up to date on national news deaths.